Feeling kinda lucky, this girl really likes me. Never thought that love would tempt my heart. At the beach together, nothing seems to matter. Till she sees a flounder, can't tell us apart. Never thought, imagine that I'd grow a tail, or that I'd be a swimming like a big blue whale. What is going on here? My parents never told me that I'd be a changing in my 13th year. I'm a little worried, my palms are kinda clammy, 'cause sitting at a sushi bar's my greatest fear. It's so weird in my 13th year. We're not going to be singing the whole time, don't worry. If this is your first time tuning into this podcast,
we do this every episode.
We make up a song about every movie. Yep.
I wish we were this clever. Welcome, everybody, to the DCOM Duo podcast.
I'm Benji.
I'm Kelsey.
And we're the DCOM Duo
podcast.
Woo, and today we're doing the song we just sang about.
The 13th year.
Do we want to explain what we did for the people who haven't seen this credit sequence?
You'll have to
before?
listen to the episode till the end to find out.
We did not come up with that.
No.
That exists.
That's a real song.
That's a real song. We have it on CD.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Ears per ears.
Yeah. The 13th Year is a Disney Channel original movie. That's what we talked about. And it's about a merman. And it is okay.
It's alright. I feel like this is an iconic one just for the concept of it.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff I like about this movie and a lot of stuff I don't care about. Yeah. And it all combines together for the most 5 out of 10 movie. It's such a take it or leave it.
Yeah. It's alright. It's not bad. But I wish it was even crazier than it is. I don't know, because I feel like, the synopsis is a boy, he turns 13 and he turns into a merman. That's literally all that happens. There's not much beyond that, which, with a crazy concept like that, maybe you don't need that much more, but it's literally just like, oh my gosh, what's happening to me? Oh, I'm a merman. All right, cool. And that's the whole movie.
Yeah. All right, so should we start talking about the 13th year?
Yeah, do we have fan mail first?
Oh, yeah, we do. First off, if anyone wants to send us fan mail, you can email us at thedcomduo@gmail.com or contact us in any other ways. We do have fan mail.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. From Scarlet Web 2106 on our Big City Greens the Movie Spacecation. Again, it feels weird. There's 2 subtitles of that. On our episode on that, they said, amazing. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comment. We appreciate it.
Do you think they're a bot?
If you're a bot, keep doing it.
Thank you. We appreciate it. I appreciate the comment. Amazing. You're amazing.
You're amazing, Scarlet Web 2106.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now I guess we could talk about the 13th year. You did the factos.
I did the factos. This movie released May 15th, 1999, one of the few DCOMs that are in Kelsey's lifetime, but not mine.
Wow. Yeah, a couple months before yours.
Yep.
Crazy.
It was the 7th DCOM.
Wow.
Still very
I can't believe
early.
it was the 7th. Like, it was in the first 10.
Yeah.
This movie's older than I thought.
It's old. And, yeah. The director of this film is someone we've talked about many times already. Probably the person we've talked about the most. It's Dwayne Dunham.
Uh-huh.
I've just gone through these factos so many times, so I'm just going to rip through them. He also did Halloween Town, Ready to Run, Tiger Cruise, Right on Track, Double Teamed, and Now You See It.
So the only one we have left is Right on Track.
Yes.
Crazy.
It's like, that's a lot of DCOMs, but it's also crazy that we've gotten all of these in the first half.
Yeah.
Because we're still on the first half. Roughly.
We're in the 50s right now.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. I think we more or less just got through the halfway point. Although we're going to cover stuff that comes out beyond that, so we don't know how fast stuff will come out.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, after this week's episode, after the next episode after that, is our mini-sode. This is our 59th episode.
Yeah, this is our 59.
Yeah. This is our 59th episode. So next episode after this one is episode 60. And then the week after that, we will do a bonus episode where we're going to rank the 10 most recent ones we had watched and put it into our master list and do something fun, a little extra to that.
Yeah, probably reading fan fiction.
Yeah, well, I have some other ideas too.
Oh, we'll see.
We'll see. All right. Back to Dwayne Dunham, because I should talk about the stuff that's not DCOM, such as Homeward Bound and Little Giants. Wow. And he's a very acclaimed editor who worked on Return of the Jedi and Twin Peaks. Wow. I've said this like 5 times. If this is your first time hearing about him, listen to one of the other episodes. I will say the exact same thing. Now for the cast. Playing Cody Griffin is Ches Starbuck. I want to stop immediately and talk about how that's one of the best names I've ever heard. Ches Starbuck.
Like Shay Starbuck.
I'm saying that guy, he should be like a baseball player. That's a baseball name.
Starbuck? Is he related to the company?
Starbucks is not like the founder of Starbucks' name.
Well, he should get sponsored by them or something.
Well, maybe he did, because prior to 13th Year, Ches Starbuck's like only camera appearances before this was doing commercials and hosting a local children's news program in his home of Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he got the lead role in a Disney Channel original movie
where he became a merman.
Yep, and proceeded to do next to nothing after that. The biggest thing otherwise is You're Invited to Mary-Kate and Ashley's School Dance Party, which he had a small role in.
Yeah, I really do feel like I've never seen this kid in anything else, so that makes sense.
I kept mentioning it during our watch through of this movie. My enjoyment of this film is pretty much predicated entirely on his performance. Ches, I'm sorry. I think you're a bad actor. I feel like
that's why he doesn't book much.
I feel like your line deliveries throughout this whole movie are so odd.
Yeah.
But it really kept me into the movie.
But it also it kind of set the vibe of the movie though. This movie just kind of stumbled its way through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And was stumbling
is a
vibe.
good way to describe it.
Yeah.
I don't know why every time Ches Starbuck says a line, it feels like the intonation is wrong. And
that's true.
I really again, for someone who is watching 120 kids movies for this podcast, I appreciate when stuff stands out more than people who blend into the background, even if the standing out is you for a negative reason.
Yeah.
But I don't take these seriously enough to think about if that downgrades it. It's kind of similar to very different example. You know how Jennifer Coolidge has such a voice and you can never hear anybody.
Oh.
If Jennifer Coolidge does a role, you're always thinking to yourself, that's Jennifer Coolidge.
Makes you want a hot dog.
It's kind of a similar thing where it takes you out, but if done right, it can still add to the project.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the dad of the movie, Whit Griffin, played by Dave Coulier, who is by far best known for playing Uncle Joey on Full House.
Uncle Joey.
Yeah.
What else?
Fuller House.
Can't do anything without being recognized as Uncle Joey.
Yeah. He's got kind of the curse of the sitcom star where sometimes some sitcom stars are able to completely blow past that. I mean, no one says that about Will Smith.
Yeah, that's true. But, Dave Coulier, he was an adult when he did that show, so it's not like he was younger and grew out of it.
On a kid-oriented show.
Yeah. So, Dave Coulier, the two things that, I always know about him, hey, that's Uncle Joey, and that's who Alanis Morissette is singing about in You Oughta Know. And that's it. That's what he's immortalized with.
I put it down that it's true that all he's known for is playing Joey in Full House because he's the one who hosts the Full House Rewatch podcast.
Is it just him? That's funny. At least, I mean, yeah, there was also Fuller House, but he wasn't a regular on that. He would show up every now and then.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's, Candace, what's her name? At least she's in like Hallmark movies.
Dave Couligard's done a decent amount of voice acting. Most notably, he was part of the main cast for Muppet Babies, doing a lot of the voices for that. And a lot of other small credits in voice acting. And he had a small role in another DCOM. He was in the Even Stevens movie.
Oh, I don't remember that, but we'll see when we watch that movie.
Yeah. So that's him. Yeah, it's Uncle Joey. That's all you really need to know.
Uncle Joey.
Playing Sharon Griffin, that's the mom, is Lisa Stahl Sullivan. She was a former Miami Dolphins cheerleader. And also a game show prize presenter. She's more of a model than an actor.
Oh.
Which is interesting. Yeah. Mostly just like presenting, modeling, and photography work, where she would be a photographer for more of the recent years. Not that many acting credits. This is like one of her bigger acting jobs.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. It's not usually the factoids we get from this. Playing the role of Jess Wheatley, was Justin John Ross. He's not done that much outside of some roles in like Little Giants, Big Bully, and the Crayola Kids Adventures series.
Weird. He looks a lot like the kid from Sandlot.
Yeah.
But he's not that
It's
kid.
really the glasses.
And his
skinny
mouth.
Face.
He's like, yeah.
I think they were trying to recreate that.
I think that's what they were going for, yeah.
Yeah. Because you get that vibe throughout. I felt like he did a fine performance.
He's fine. I feel like it was the writing for him that wasn't that great. He's just like, I'm a nerd.
Yeah. Playing the role of Samantha is Courtney Draper, who we've already talked about at deeper length for stepsister from Planet Weird.
Yep, she's the lead in that.
The sister, not the stepsister.
Yes.
She's the sister from Planet Earth.
She's, like basically the narrator because it's her stepsister from Planet Weird.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Otherwise, Courtney Draper's best known for, she was in a Disney Channel show called The Jersey. She was Erica Lovejoy on The Bold and the Beautiful. And she was Elizabeth in BioShock Infinite. So,
right, I remember that, yeah.
Which is that's just a funny little modern twist.
Yeah, that's a big character for a big video game. So, pretty cool.
Playing the evil friend, Sean Marshall.
It's so weird. They're really frenemies. They should be in the movie Frenemies.
Yeah. Is Tim Redwine. He was the lead role in the film Punks.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I've seen it come up before, and not many roles otherwise. Yeah. The coach is Brian Haley, who had notable roles in Gran Torino, Little Giants, and Baby Stay Out, but otherwise not too much. Yeah. And finally, playing Big John Wheatley was...
So Jess's dad.
Jess's dad is Brent Briscoe, who is a character actor with a bunch of credits, a lot of standard character actor work. Just done a bunch of minimal roles. He was in Twitches.
Yeah.
In a small role, like, I think it was Painter or something.
Yeah, I think I actually know the scene in my mind, like Painter, where they're like going under the ladder or something and they use magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like ingrained in my brain. I love Twitches. Can't wait to talk about it.
He's probably best known for the recurring role of JJ on Parks and Recreation.
JJ's Diner?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's the owner there. So that's, like, when you look at his Wikipedia, that's what it says best known for, and I would believe it.
Cool.
Tragically, he died in 2017. He fell and sustained injuries that took his life.
That's really sad.
That's sad. Yeah. Okay. It's unfortunate. I like his performance a good bit in this film. I feel like
he was pretty fun.
He's the one who's bringing the right energy to this project when I'm not sure how much of the... Every member of the cast, and I mean it, every person we said there, I feel like was given different, like, notes on what the film direction was going to be. I feel like Big John Wheatley is the one that would have been the best film.
Yeah.
That's my take. Because, yeah, it feels like every character is acting like a slightly different genre of film.
Yeah.
Like, every line that Sam says is so, like...
So serious.
So serious, so dramatic.
Yeah.
Some fun facts. This film is the first on-screen role Kristen Stewart ever had. You notice we didn't talk about her in the factos, though, because She has an uncredited appearance as a girl waiting in the water fountain line.
Yeah, she doesn't have a name. She's just one of the kids in the line.
Yeah. She got the role since her mother, Jules Stewart, was the script supervisor for the movie. I'm guessing everyone in there is just like a production kid.
Probably, yeah.
And it's just notable because Kristen Stewart became extremely big. A-list star. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No Crazy. Kristen Stewart hate here.
No.
And then the other thing I put down is just like the summer of the film's premiere, Disney did a promotional tour. They went like across dozens of cities promoting this film, which I think is weird because it's a Disney Channel original film. What are they trying to get out of this?
Yeah, their 7th one. Like, we got to promote this one.
Like maybe they did that for all of them and I'm just only found notes about it here, but whatever. All right, that brings us to the Disney Plus description. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Cody begins to experience an unusual phenomenon as he approaches his 13th birthday. He gets scales and fins, begins to breathe underwater, and communicates with fish. Cody soon discovers that the secret behind the unusual changes lie within his lineage.
Okay, that's mostly true, but I feel like breathing underwater and communicating with fish are not the main things that's happening. I don't think he ever breathes underwater. I think he just holds his breath, but maybe he does breathe.
I think they're trying to hide the fact that he's a mermaid.
Really?
Yeah, just like looking at this, it would be so much easier to just say he starts thinking he's turning into a mermaid.
He's a mermaid on the cover of the movie. Also, he communicates with fish like one time in the movie, so it's not a big thing. The big, like, they didn't even mention the shocking thing where he like gets electricity powers. Also, why does that happen? Oh no, they do explain that. We'll get there.
Also, this is probably the shortest Disney Plus subscription we've seen.
It is very short. It is 2 sentences,
which is like it's completely inadequate for a 2-sentence description. I really have no issues about it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like the rest of the Disney Plus descriptions, but it's probably better if they were all like this.
It really fits the vibe of the movie, which is like, meow. This is happening now. Cool. Yeah. Should watch if you want. I don't know.
Like, if you care about this, you're welcome to have it, but like otherwise,
otherwise you can just leave. Like that's what the movie feels like. I swear, it's kind of a bizarre experience. We're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
You ready to jump into the movie?
I'm ready to let it shine into the movie.
All right.
Yeah. I was ready.
So we open on some water.
Whoa.
What? It's a DCOM.
Kelsey and I made sure to have full water because this is a full water movie.
We are drinking water right now because we're thirsty.
Glug, glug. Whoever fills up their water more times in this podcast wins.
Okay.
You have a smaller water bottle, but I drink more water.
So we see a mermaid tail in the water, and we're like underwater shot, and there's coral, whatever. Mermaid swims with a baby in her arms. And I wrote, I guess they both can breathe that long, or maybe they just hold their breath. It's not clear. It's weird. It's interesting that the baby doesn't have a little mermaid tail. It's just like a normal baby.
Yeah, because they're apparently human until
they're so you're telling me if he did not go to the shore, he would have had regular legs for 13 years underwater.
I'm gonna ask a serious question here, but it's also one I maybe shouldn't ask. How do mermaids give birth? Do they have bottom
They
parts?
lay eggs.
Do they lay eggs?
No, it's probably more like a dolphin. So like a hole opens up like a dolphin.
Gotcha.
Do they have vaginas?
That's what I'm asking.
Do they fuck?
If you jumped right into this film discussion, we asked the critical questions.
Right off the bat, do mermaids fuck? These are the important questions you gotta ask when watching the 13th Year.
Who's the dad? Is there a dad?
Is there a dad? Are they like sponges?
Do they
wait? Do sponges do that?
Do they I think they do.
Sponges like asexually produce?
I think so. Do they just go through mitosis? No, because then it would be a clone.
There's a real baby.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If anyone's a mermaid expert, please let us know.
Yeah, because like in H2O, which is where I get most of my mermaid lore, they switch between being human and being mermaids. When they're dry, they have legs. And they don't breathe underwater. They hold their breath, but they can hold their breath for a long time. So these are the questions I need to know. Dwayne, are you out there?
Dwayne, we'd love to have you on the cast.
Please, Dwayne, we have one more of your movie left. Movies. Please.
Or make another.
Make another DCOM, please. And then come and answer questions about mermaid lore. All right, there's a boat. There's fisherman. He's sleeping on the boat. But then he wakes up and he sees a mermaid tail. So he stumbles for his binoculars to see it. And he's like, whoa, that's one big fish. Gotta be over 100 pounds. So he starts boating after her. And we see the mermaid. She keeps peacefully swimming. And he's just going, here, fishy, fishy, fishy. There you are. He like talks to himself constantly. Like, oh, I'm going to get that fish.
Notably, the mermaid does not talk to herself. She doesn't speak a line in this movie.
She never talks.
I don't know if she can't talk. She might not be able to.
If she talked, she would sing because she's a siren. Mermaid stuff.
Are mermaids? I thought mermaids and sirens were different.
They're usually
They're similar. They're very similar.
I feel like they're usually the same, but maybe they're not. There's a siren plot in H2O.
I'm trying to think back to Percy Jackson. I think there's a siren plot that's explicitly different than a mermaid plot.
Really?
I feel like I might be wrong about that, though.
All right. Okay, so the mermaid tries to swim away, but our fisherman here has a sonar fish finder.
This is kind of... Does this really exist?
Yeah.
But, like, why do you have this just...
It's on the fishing boat. I don't know.
This guy's not even really a fisher.
No, well, yeah. And then she loses him for a second by hiding by the buoy. But he's like, oh, you're hiding from me. What a clever little fish.
What a clever big fish. Oh.
And then we see a tiki boat go by. And she puts the baby in a basket that's kind of hanging off the side of this little tiki boat. And then she swims off. And the fisherman's still trying to find her. And he's like, if I didn't know better, I swear this fish is half human.
Oh, it's funny because it ends up being true.
Yeah, and then she just shows her beautiful mermaid face.
Yeah, her game plan is, I'm just going to be beautiful in front of this guy.
I'm just going to freak him out.
He's going to crash his boat.
Yeah, and he's like, oh my God, it's a mermaid. It's a mermaid. And she's just waving at him.
Giggling and waving.
Yeah, like, why is this the plan? Like, she just...
It works.
Would she not be worried about being captured? It does work. Because then he freaks out and he goes, oh, hey, mermaid. You're beautiful.
We joke about that line.
We do like to quote that line a lot. You're beautiful. And then he crashes his boat. And she laughs and she swims back to where her baby was. But, oh my gosh, the boat is somewhere else.
Oh no, the baby's gone.
So there's a couple on the boat and he's like, remind me why we moved here again.
And the mom, the first line she says in the whole movie. We're
here to start a new life, free from the constraints of the bourgeois capitalist existence.
What? This is what I'm saying. Like, every character feels like they're from a slightly different movie.
Yeah.
This mom doesn't fit with the rest of the movie.
No. And he's like, I thought we were here to start a tour boat company. What's that sound we hear? Like, okay. Do you know... This is weird to bring up. Do you know the porn intro for Lemon Horror?
Yes.
It's giving that. It's giving like, oh, we're just here on our boat. Don't we love our boat?
I sure hope no one's stealing our lemons.
What's that sound we hear? Because then they hear a baby cry and they're like, a baby! It's giving Lemon Horror.
How is this our most 18 plus episode? Like, immediately, we're not even through, like, the opening scene.
Y'all, look up Lemon Horror, but just the intro. I've never watched past the intro.
Kelsey's never seen porn in her life.
He would never watch porn. But I have seen the intro to this porn because it's funny and stupid. Do they fuck the Lemon Horror? You're acting like I've watched it? I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
Should we watch it right now?
Yeah, let's watch it live on the podcast.
Okay, turn the audio up.
Anyway, they find the baby in the basket and they're like, where did you come from? How did you get here? Can we keep him? Immediately the mom's like, can we keep him? Like he's like this isn't $1 bill that you found on the ground.
Yeah,
it's a freaking baby.
Uncle Joey's like being very reasonable about this. The mom's just like, oh, I'm here to like say fuck the class system. There's a baby. I want to be a mom.
I want to keep it. It's also like the reaction you would have when you find like a puppy.
Yeah.
You're like, can we keep it? Like, this is a human being. And then the mermaid sees them walk away on the shore with the baby. Yeah. And she's really sad. It keeps a very long shot on her of her just being sad that her baby's being taken away. And also the lady is like, I want to name him Cody. That's my favorite name. So she names him Cody. And we get 13 years later.
Wow. I'm going to bring this up here because I don't know where else to bring it. This whole movie's like predicated on changes happening in your 13th year. And like it all really kind of culminates starting with his birthday. But they don't know when his birthday is.
No, and like
I guess it could be 13 years out of the water.
Yeah, and it would make sense to me that like your symptoms don't start on your birthday. Like it can start as an estimate when you turn 13, you know?
Yeah, like it's completely fine, but it's also just slightly weird that it's all very explicit 13th year. And it's like on his birthday, but his birthday doesn't mean anything.
No, it's just to show you that he turns 13, and that's like the name of the movie. I don't know. Okay, so 13 years later, Cody's on the tiki boat, and he sees something in the water, but he walks away. And then we have a lady. So they're like, this tiki boat is like bigger now. It's a tour boat. That's their business. This lady is complaining to Cody. She's like, I know this only cost $5, but I thought it would be nicer. $5?
I mean, maybe they're just a really bad tour company.
Yeah, well, the boat's broken down, so I guess they do suck.
And also, it's $5 and $99. That's like $40 today.
No, it's not.
Pretty much.
In 1999, you think $5 is equivalent to $40?
I'm joking, but I'm also saying inflation does exist. It's been 25 years.
That's true. All right, meanwhile, a swim meet is about to start at school, but Cody isn't there, and the coach mentions if they win, they make state finals, which would be a first time for this team. The Marlins is their name.
Ooh, what a creative team name for a swim team.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Cody can't make it to the race because the boat won't start. And they're like, well, if you can try to catch the ferry and make it. So he runs off to catch the ferry. And then we cut back to the swim competition, and they use a gun to start. Do they do that in swimming?
I swam for a bit. No. They would do a beep on the loudspeaker.
Beep.
It's on your mark.
They have
it's
a
the same thing they do in the Olympics.
It's a gun, and it's indoors.
It's entirely possible. Well, first off, they'd be shooting a bomb.
Yeah, I know.
But
still really loud.
It's entirely possible that was done at a point.
In the 90s?
Stuff like that definitely could have happened. It's not that crazy to me.
Okay, so Cody misses the ferry, and they're like, sorry, Cody, catch the next one, because they've
got to be doing these intercut scenes not locked in at the same time. Because he's swimming after a ferry, and the next race is his race. How in the world does he make it?
Right now, it's Sam's race. I think maybe hers is a longer race.
I think they're just like intercut such that he's been running close to getting in the whole time.
Yeah, they just want to make it look more dramatic than it is. So Cody misses the ferry, and he decides to just jump into the water. And you think he's just going to catch up to the ferry and get on? No, he outpaces the ferry.
Why does he need the ferry to begin with? I guess
he decided he didn't in the end. He is burning all of this energy to make a swim competition. He's going to be so tired.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that when he actually performs in this swim competition.
All right, so he gets out of the water. I guess it wasn't that long of a swim. Or was it long? I don't know. And he's running in his wet clothes, and he shows up at the pool, and they're about to start the race, but he's like, wait, stop. And so he makes it just in time. He takes off his wet clothes, and his Speedo was under his shorts, luckily. And he almost forgets to take off his shoes. before he jumps in the water. He took off his shorts over his shoes.
I think they were like rip off.
Were they? No, they weren't. Were they?
I don't remember the scene well enough.
And they're wet.
Yeah, he's already wet. He's like, it's a whole situation where this shouldn't be allowed, but also I blame the parents for not getting him there in time.
The boat broke down.
Yeah.
It wasn't their fault.
Why was he there to begin with? He should have been at the meet early.
Yeah, he probably should have been there way earlier, but whatever. Okay, so now the race starts. We learn that Sean is the team captain and his arch rival, Cody's arch rival.
Yeah, the announcer will tell us all this because like every sports DCOM, they add announcers. At least this one I almost could believe exists. They don't say anything that crazy.
They're qualifying for state. Yeah, at least.
Like this is out of all the DCOM sports announcers that make no sense, this is one that makes more sense while still not actually existing because all they're doing is actually saying like, oh, at the turn, this person's leading. Which is like stuff that could be said.
Yeah.
They're not saying like what we just heard at Den Brother. Oh, the coach really needs to put in Alex. Oh my God.
This one
Alex, have my kids.
This one's like, oh my gosh, there's Sean and his arch rival and teammate Cody. Which like, they're arch rivals, but they're also on the same team.
Yeah, call them frenemies.
So Sean takes the early lead, but then Cody's like closing the gap, but then Sean ends up winning. It was 100 meters, by the way. Yeah. Which Benji said it was accurate how many laps they did because it was probably 25 meter pool.
You expect that pool to be 25 meters, and they did 3 turns and a hit, so.
There you go. Benji used to swim.
I swam.
Yeah, pretty fun. My school didn't have a pool.
So
I can't relate.
Why does every mermaid piece of media I've ever consumed involve them being swimmers?
Because it's such an easy plot point to be like, oh my gosh, you can't swim anymore, but I want to, you know? If they just ran track, it wouldn't fucking matter.
It's track, but it's raining that day.
It could be any sport, but it's just raining that day unless it's an indoor sport, I guess. But yeah. All right. So they win. Coach shows them the trophy. Like after the meet, he gives a speech about how this is the happiest day of his coaching life.
The coach is actually kind of a good coach. I kept expecting him to do something stupid, but he gets angry at the right things, but not aggressively angry at children. And he's like genuinely happy for the team and maybe puts too much pressure on them, but also like it's a time to be put pressure on.
It's the first time the school has made it to state.
Yeah, and he's happy about it.
He keeps saying, I love how he clarifies, this is the best day of my coaching life. He's like, this isn't the best day of my life. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, he's not crazy. It's again, where this film feels mundane, but with like a little extra funkiness to it. The coach is just like completely a viable character.
Yeah. He's just there to fill in as a coach. Like, yeah. All right. So then we see a nerd kid. That's Jess. He has a big like tuba and he falls into the pool.
Damn.
And coach was like, someone get that freaking nerd out of my pool.
Yeah, remember what I said about the coach being like a normal person? That does it. He sees a guy drowning and he's just like, I don't care.
Oh, what a nuisance. Get that boy out of my pool. Like, yeah, that's a kid dying right now.
Yeah.
But what a nuisance. So Cody's like, oh, I'll do it. And he jumps in.
Jess is like, oh my God, thank you. I can't believe I fell into that pool.
It's
and
because
my
sousaphone
hat is stuck down there. I'm so dumb, but at least you were there to save my life. Cody had already walked away like 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. He pulls him out and he just leaves. And just like, oh, but my tuba.
Yeah, we see the sousaphone make a little honk.
Sorry, it's a sousaphone.
As far as I know, sousaphone is just a walking tuba.
Okay.
It makes a little honk noise and blows a bubble in the water, which I like.
Yeah, that was cute. Okay, so outside, Cody's talking with Sean and Samantha. Samantha tells Cody's like, oh, you're so fast in the water. And he's like, I don't know, I'm not doing anything differently. I'm just faster now.
Oh my God, maybe I'm a mermaid.
And Sean's like, Sean's like, hey, Sam, you want to ride home? And she's like, she looks at Cody and goes, no, I think I'll walk home.
They're setting this up like it's a love triangle, but they never develop any inkling of Sam could be with Sean.
No, it's very clear that Sam is with Cody. Like, and they're already dating.
Yeah, it's just weird. It feels like an episode season 2 thing of a show where these were all established characters.
Yeah.
Because they act like there was something between those two that's like a will they, won't they, that's a won't they.
I know. It's interesting that like it's already established that they're dating. Well, okay, we don't know this yet. But later it's like, oh, you two are dating.
Within this scene.
No, it's when they go to school is when they officially say like, I can't believe you're dating him.
Yeah.
Whereas right now it feels like they're just flirting. But apparently they're already an item. Which is interesting that it feels like the movie isn't really telling you that yet. It really feels like, oh, I have a crush on you, haha.
Yeah, it feels like something you see in every DCOM of like, oh, they're gonna end up together, but it's like a side plot of the whole movie. Mm-hmm. No, they're just dating.
They're already dating, and it's weird that the movie doesn't immediately tell you that.
So does Sean just not respect that?
Well, I think it could just be he's being nice because she doesn't have a ride.
That's fair. And we all know Cody walked and swam there.
Yeah. But she's like, yeah, I want to walk. And he's like, it's a long walk. And she's like, I like walking. And so Sean leaves and, she takes Cody's hand, but then Cody's dad rolls up in the van and he's wearing like a big Marlin hat with face paint and stuff. And he's like, oh, did we miss it? And then he sees the two of them. He's like, you guys an item now?
Yeah. And they're like, oh, Dad.
Dad, whatever. And Cody's like, you can go catch up with Sean probably. And she's like, no. I'm going to go with you. Yeah.
Aww.
So she gets in the car with Cody.
Also, did we mention the dad has a vuvuzela?
Oh, yeah, the dad has a vuvuzela.
Which is wild seeing it before the South Africa World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, ever since then, they're existing. Yeah. But I feel like I'd never heard of one before this. He just has a flat-out vuvuzela.
Yeah. Pretty fun. Cut to a fishing boat. Oh my gosh, it's the same fisherman from earlier. His name's John.
Oh my god, is that Big John Wheatley?
Yeah, but it's Big John Wheatley. You fishing or looking for aliens again?
Oh.
Some guys are
John
like,
goes, not aliens. Mermaids.
Mermaids. And the guys are like, oh, mermaids. That's stupid. I don't remember what to say, but they're teasing him. And the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of them.
Yeah, Scully.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joel McKillen Miller, I think.
And he's in other DCOMs.
Yeah, he's in like 4 DCOMs.
Crazy.
All as minor roles.
Yeah.
This one's just like literally like a 2-line role. I didn't include it.
Yeah. So John takes it like a champ though. He's just like, oh, haha.
He definitely is dying inside. Though.
He is, but
we learn later this is very important to him.
He's just like, I have to hold it in. I know the mermaid was real. I know
they all think I'm crazy.
They think I'm crazy, but the mermaid was real.
And she was beautiful.
She was beautiful. He goes into his little like fish house. I don't know. He lives in a shithole. Yeah. It's like multiple kind of sheds on the dock. So John goes into his little fish house and oh my god, the nerd from earlier comes in, Jess, that's his son, crazy, and Jess is like, hey Dad, can you help me dry out my sousaphone again? Poor
Jess, it's again. Like how has this happened multiple times?
I don't know. He's fallen in the pool maybe. But John's just too busy looking in his fishing bag. Poor Jess doesn't get help. All right, so now at school, everyone's saying hi to Cody as he walks in, like, "Hey, Cody, hey, good job on the race." Even though he didn't win, he got second. But Cody's just a cool kid that everybody likes.
It's really kind of crazy. He's just popping. Sorry, I was drinking water. Sorry, I'm thirsty. I've been thirsty lately. Yeah, everyone in this whole school. He's clearly the most popular kid in school, but it's so funny. Everyone's like, congrats on the race. Dude didn't win. Someone else at your school did win.
Yeah.
If I was Sean, I'd be pissed. But you know what? Sean sucks, so.
He walks by Sam. He's like, hey, Sam. And Sam's with another girl, and she goes, oh my gosh, you're so lucky to be dating Cody. He's the most popular guy in school, which makes you the most popular girl.
Such a DCOM exposition.
So funny.
This one girl gets one line and she uses the hell out of it.
You're so lucky to date him. He's so popular. Cody tells Sean and another kid, he's like, yeah, it's great. I'm like on top of the world. And Sean's like, you know he dies in that movie, right?
Spoiler alert for Titanic.
That was so topical. That movie had like just released when this movie released.
Yeah, that could have actually spoiled somebody.
Probably.
Because they're kids.
Yeah.
This is a kids movie.
Yeah.
And that's an adult movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah, so like Sean is just kind of teasing him. It really feels like they're friends. And it switches all the time on if they're friends. They
are friends. They're established to be friends, especially at this point.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of weird because it feels like all that's their friendship is predicated on is that they swam together.
Yeah.
And you know what? That type of friendship does exist.
Yeah. It really just switches of like, are they actually rivals or are they friends? Like, is there camaraderie there?
Will they? Won't they? Will they kiss?
Will they kiss? Maybe they'll kiss. Yes, we will.
What's the song?
Promiscuous Girl. All right, in class, they're in biology class. They're going to learn about marine biology. Cody says a snarky comment. He's like, who cares? And the teacher's like, what? And he's like,
oh, I care.
Nothing. I care. Not. Wow, Cody's such a cool guy.
Basically the kid's ingenious.
For real. That's how you know you're cool. So they're going to do a partner project about the creatures of the deep. And the teacher, like, already picked the partners.
Yeah.
And Cody gets paired with Jess Wheatley.
Which, yeah, Sean makes fun of him about it. My take is we learned that Cody's, like, failing this class. My take is she just went highest GPA paired with lowest GPA down the line.
That's probably true. Also, Benji pointed out that, like, when he sees that Jess is his partner, there's some, like, tuba instrumental, and it's playing the credit song. Like, the melody to the credit song. Which is kind of fun.
It is pretty fun.
Cody then, like, cut to Cody drinking from a fountain as Jess is talking about how much he likes marine biology. He's like, oh, I like marine biology so much, so, like, this project won't be too bad because I know so much about it. And the whole time he talks, Cody's just drinking from the water fountain. And Jess is like, do you always drink this much? And Cody says, so I'm thirsty. I've been thirsty lately.
If you've listened to every one of these podcasts, we've almost certainly quoted that in the past.
Yeah, we probably have.
Out of every DCOM, somehow this is like our most quoted line.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. It's very much Shez Starbucks delivery. So I'm thirsty. I've been thirsty lately. And, like, we don't even say it the exact right way that he says
we always say, so what? I'm thirsty. But I think he says, so I'm thirsty. I've been thirsty lately.
It's just so good. You're getting asked, why are you drinking so much water? He's just, I'm thirsty.
I've been thirsty lately. So this is our first sign that something is weird. And it's played off very, like, casually. But we see, like...
Yeah, you think if you're watching this, it's like him trying to ignore a conversation.
Yeah. So what? I'm thirsty. I've been thirsty lately. Jess recommends tomorrow to work on the project, but Cody's like, well, tomorrow's kind of a big day for me. It's my birthday. Yeah, he's like walking away from me in the hallway right now. He's like, I can't do tomorrow. Yeah, and the way he says it too, it's like kind of a big day for me. It's my birthday. That's what I mean. Like the vibe of this movie is so oddly casual.
Well, no, it's only Cody. It's only
but he's in every scene.
Yes, but if you look at Sam's lines, they're all like, this is a drama romance film. If you look at Sean, this is a pure sports film. If you everybody's in a slightly different genre. It's weird.
It's pretty funny. So Cody's walking away and he's like, yeah, I'm a pretty whatever. You can come if you want.
He's not even looking at Jess when he says this.
He's like 10 feet away from him, and he's like, you can come if you want, and Jess goes, wow.
It's nice of him to invite. Cody's a nice kid, and I like that. That's never actually in question.
He is, but he also, like, doesn't actually want Jess to come, so I don't know why he says this.
It's because he's nice. It's a courtesy invite.
I bet he just, like, panics in, like, politeness.
No.
Like, oh, yeah, you can come. Yeah. Because he'd feel awkward if he didn't say you could come. But, yeah, whatever. Cut to the birthday party at Cody's house. His mom brings out already sliced pieces of cake on plates, which I guess is just more efficient.
Yeah.
And it's beet cake.
It's beet cake made out of beets. No fat, no yum.
Mm-hmm. No yum. Yeah, it's not good.
Everybody hates it.
They all hate it.
The dad goes, and we could try to describe his actions, but I feel like that did well enough.
Both the parents make such weird sounds because the mom too is like, and he goes, oh. It's so weird.
And these are just minor little scenes that have no real relevance.
Cody says, I'm going to go in to get a drink. Because remember, he's been thirsty lately.
He goes and gets a cup of water.
Sam sees him go in the house and follows after him. So, yeah, Cody gets the water from the sink and he drinks just a ton of it.
He just downs it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to just start drinking my bottle of water and Kelsey's going to talk and I'll let you know when he's done.
Okay. So Sam comes in and she's like, hey, Cody, I have a present for you. Happy birthday.
He's roughly done drinking water now. Okay. Boy, we need to give genuine attention to this part, though. This is one of our... While you were talking about this movie, you'd think we'd like it more than we do.
There's like just a couple funny things that we remember a lot.
And there are a lot in the beginning here.
Yeah.
But this is something that's iconic.
Yes.
Incredible.
It is.
Let's talk about this.
So
it's
Sam,
Cody's birthday.
Sam is like, I have to get my boyfriend a present.
Can I get my boyfriend? What do you get the guy who's the most popular kid in school, who's your boyfriend, who has everything?
Yeah. So he unwraps it, and it's a framed picture of just her.
Yep. Not a picture of them together. Just a framed picture of her.
I got this for you. And she put like little
fishes on the frame. Oh.
It's like a little arts and crafts project. It's just a picture of her. And he's like, oh. And she says, and that's not all. And then she just closes her eyes and puckers her lips.
She doesn't say like lean in or
no.
She doesn't go in for it.
She doesn't lean in at all.
You make the move. I close my eyes and move my lips.
Yeah, she doesn't move her head at all. She just closes her eyes and puckers her lips. And he's like, oh, and he looks around. He looks right, left.
Yeah, he's trying to cross the street. He's checking both ways.
Oh, okay. And he goes in for the kiss.
And it's electric.
It's electric. Like, it literally shocks her. And she goes like, oh. And he's like, should we try again? And she's like, maybe next birthday. And then she walks away.
What was that interaction?
It's so
insane.
The scene's amazing. Yeah, so the picture is absolutely insane that she's giving a framed picture of just her. And after we watched this, Benji's birthday came up. This is years ago. Yeah. And I gave him a picture of just me.
In a frame.
I painted it with like glitter paint. It was really cute.
You needed to put a couple fishies on it.
I should have, yeah. But I just did like a purple glitter paint. Benji still has it.
I do still have it. It's on my desk.
Yeah. And it's a picture funny. Of just me. I'm like, happy birthday. It was like perfect timing for when we watched it. And your birthday was so close. Yeah. So we love that scene. It's so weird. Oh, okay. Outside, they see Sean, and then Jess rolls up, and they're like, what's the nerd doing here?
Oh, I'm Sean. I'm the jock with this film, so I gotta be mean to the nerd.
Yo, the freaking nerd! And Cody's like, oh, I told him he could come, but I didn't think he actually would come. And then Sean invites him to swim.
It's like, hey, Jess, we're gonna go swimming. You want to join us? Haha, get it? Because you almost drowned earlier?
You can't swim. And then Jess is like, oh, I'll leave. But then he runs into Cody's mom, and Cody's like, oh, are you one of Cody's friends? And he's like, not really.
Can you give him this?
Yeah, he has a present for him. And so he gives it to the mom, and then he leaves. It's really sad. Like, he was so excited he actually got invited to a party.
Yeah. And Sean messes it all up.
Yeah. I mean, Cody wasn't happy he was there either.
Yeah.
But he would have been nice to him, I bet, if Sean wasn't there.
Cody's a polite kid.
He is. Okay.
He's a goody two-shoes.
Yeah. So that night, the mom's like, our baby boy's all grown up. Like, the parents are there in his bedroom, and they wish him a good night. And they're like, starting tonight, your whole life is different. You're a teenager. Oh my God,
you're a mermaid. I mean,
you're a teenager. You're 13. And then they hand him the present from Jess. Like, oh, you missed one. Here you go. Then they leave, and Cody opens it, and it's a book about sea creatures.
Well, it's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh, I didn't realize. What is that?
That's just one of the most famous books in literature.
I've heard of the title. I've never.
Yeah, I don't know too much. It's a.
Is it about sea creature?
It's a submarine book. I don't think it's a sea creature book.
It's not a sea creature book? I knew it was about water. Because what else is this movie about? And Cody starts to read it.
Yeah, it's a Jules Verne novel.
So then we get the sequence. It's a dream. It's a shot of a mermaid, and she's looking up at Cody's house. And then some ominous magic music plays, and we see Cody sleeping. And he's dreaming flashes of a lighthouse, and he's like swimming in the ocean, and he sees someone swimming towards him. It's a woman, but then his alarm wakes him up. So we'll see more of this dream later. Yeah.
This is, if you're wondering, the second DCOM to feature mermaid dreams.
Well, it came out before Ring of Endless Light, so it's actually the first.
2 out of the first however many DCOMs. They're both pretty early on.
Mermaid dreams. They know how to relate to children. I've had many mermaid dreams. I'm usually a mermaid.
If I did, I would dream about mermaids.
So yeah, Cody wakes up. He touches his alarm, and when he does, a spark happens. So the whole alarm clock is just fried because he has shocky powers. Crazy. All right, so then Cody goes downstairs for breakfast. He's drinking like orange juice from a carton, and then it sticks to his hand.
Whoa!
And he can't get off. He's like Spider-Man.
This is some of the best acting he does in this film. I feel like his sticky hand acting he does throughout the film, it's pretty good. I believe that's stuck to his hand.
Yeah. His mom sees him looking at his hands. So he gets the curtain off and he's just staring at his hands.
Because he doesn't know why it's sticking. And the mom, instead of asking, why are you looking at your hands? Just starts looking at her hands.
So they're both looking at their hands, and the dad comes in and he looks at his hands. It's actually really funny.
Am I the only sane person in this family?
It was actually like a good bit. Oh. That was funny. All right, cut to Jess like snorkeling in some tide pools by the ocean, and Cody like sneaks up on him, and he's like, oh yeah, I was just looking in the tide pools. I like studying the life in there because I can't swim, so this is the closest I can get.
Why doesn't he know how to swim when he lives on a
his dad's obsessed with mermaids and never teaches him how to swim.
But I'm under the impression the dad's not that bad of a dad. Like
I think he's too focused on the mermaid thing.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay, so Jess just talks about how cool tide pools are. And he's like, yeah, it's survival of the fittest out there in the tide pools. They're like an ecosystem. Huh. And Cody's like, you know a lot about this, don't you? And Jess is like, yeah, nerds don't have friends. They have hobbies. I picked this.
Yeah, some people pick Dungeons and Dragons or Star Trek. I picked marine biology.
I like tide pools.
Like, for most DCOM discussions of like nerd stuff, I feel like they're always too on the nose, too fake. This is an actual line I could hear someone say.
But the way he's always like, yeah, I'm a nerd. I don't have friends.
Yeah.
It's a little much.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, that's an actual, there's some truth to the fact of like, you kind of bury yourself in a hobby.
Yeah. All right. So Cody's like, well, at least you have good grades. I'm failing. But hey, maybe you can help with that. And Jess is like, I'm not going to do your work for me. Unless, of course, you plan to beat me up.
I like how he threw that out there. Like, I will give in.
I will immediately give in if you threaten to beat me up. And Cody's like, I'm not going to beat you up. I just need you to tutor me. If you help me with biology, I'll do whatever you want. Like, he really says whatever you want. Careful what you say, Cody. But Jess literally says, I just want to know how to swim. And Cody's like, oh, easy, deal. So they shake on it, and Jess sees scales on Cody's hand.
Oh my.
What? So Cody goes home, and he sees the freaky scales on his hands, and the mom is knocking on the door because he's in the bathroom. She's like, are you all right? And he's like, yep, all good. Okay, well, dinner's almost ready. What are we having? Fish.
Oh, no.
And then...
I feel like they should have made a comment like, oh, I don't like fish.
Yeah,
like,
or like he should have.
Bad.
He should have given more of a reaction, but it's literally just supposed to be a ha ha for the audience, and it's just weird.
Work. It would have worked better, like a few scenes later when the mermaid theory started coming, or he talked to fish.
I wish at least his eyes got wider or something, but they just
nothing.
Don't. He doesn't react.
It feels like that was misedited into the wrong space.
Yeah, I feel like the directorial choices aren't really there for this movie, and the acting
Dwayne.
Isn't there.
And the acting I think the acting is hampered by the fact that, again, I feel like the director gave notes to every actor that they were in a different vibe of a movie.
Told them that it was all a different feel. Yeah. Just see what sticks.
Come on, Dwayne. We've seen 5 of your films so far.
And a lot of them are better than this, I think. Let me see what else he did. Maybe not.
You gotta remember, we've been talking up this movie.
Ready to Run, meh. Halloween Town, meh. Double Team's alright. Tiger Cruise, meh. Now You See It, meh. You know what? He doesn't have that good of a track record. I take it back. Okay, so then at school, Jess is like, oh, hey, Cody, how's your hands? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm all good now. And Jess like, I looked it up, and sometimes people just have scales and tails. And he's like, no, I don't have a condition. I'm all good now. Like, there's no scales in my hands, so, like, keep it down, would you? And Jess is like, sorry, I don't usually talk to people. It's just too on the nose for... He's like, I'm a nerd. I don't talk to people. I don't have friends. Like, I'm tired of hearing him say it,
Mm-hmm.
And then Jess like, you want to hang out after school? We can work on the project. Maybe make s'mores.
And then he's like, we don't have to do s'mores. Again, this might be a reference to fucking Sandlot.
Yeah, it probably is. And Cody's like, no s'mores, but we can work on the project. Let's go to your place. And Jess is like, okay, but fair warning, my dad is weird.
Yeah, my dad's a little psycho. Yeah. So they go to the dad's house.
Yeah, the like fishing house on the dock. And he's like, this is where you live? Yeah. It's not very glamorous. And Cody starts like snooping around.
Yeah, Cody just immediately is like, well, I'm going to try and figure out everything that's going on here.
Yeah, so he sees the dad's collection and he has just like a ton of mermaid stuff, right? Or like research, I don't know, collectibles? Whatever. But then the dad is there and he asks Cody about his parents because he's like, oh, your parents have the tiki boat, right? Well, did they see anything strange in the harbor? And Cody's like, what do you mean strange? And he says, abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying a synonym. So, what do you mean strange? Abnormal.
What do you mean abnormal? Out of place. What do you mean out of place?
Something that usually isn't there. No.
Oh, you mean like the mermaid that I saw?
No, Cody's like, do you think mermaids really exist? And he says, really exist? I saw one, Cody, with my own eyes. And then Jess is like, let's leave. Let's leave. And then they start working on the project. And the way Jess says dig for seashells was really weird. Do you remember what it was?
I don't
He's
remember.
Like, extravate the life forms. I don't remember. It was really like long and scientific. And Cody's like, huh? And he's like, dig for seashells.
I think you need to excavate for extraterrestrial life within the same. I don't know.
Yeah, it was dumb.
It's a dumb little joke that for some reason it's such a common joke in kids media where intelligent character says something with large words. Yeah. No one talks like that.
Nobody talks like that.
And it's not funny.
No, it's not. And
but it happens all the time.
He knows Cody isn't going to understand him. Why would you choose to use big words when you don't have to?
Because you want to show off that you can.
Stupid. All right, come back to school. It's biology class. Cody's going, please let me pass. Please let me pass. They get their report back or something, or a test. I don't know what it is.
I think it's a report. I think it's their group project.
Oh, okay. Sure. They get an A.
Yeah, because otherwise how did he get the A?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, Jess has been tutoring him. But yeah, it was probably their group project. So he's like, I did it. I got an A. And then it just hard cuts to a shot of a huge line at a water fountain. Oh, look, there's baby Kristen Stewart.
He's there. That's Bella.
Yeah. from Twilight. Cody's just drinking a whole bunch of water. There's a huge line at the drinking fountain.
I'm thirsty.
I wish he said it again, but he doesn't. He just walks away.
I've been thirsty lately.
I'm thirsty. I've been thirsty lately. And then back in class, Cody's feeling weird and he needs more water. Cut to at home, his mom is like feeling his forehead. Or she like takes his temperature and she's like, no fever. And he's like, no, it's not like that kind of sick. I'm just like really thirsty and I shock people. And sometimes I get this green scaly rash. You know, maybe it's something from my other parents. So now we know that Cody knows he was adopted.
Yeah. I feel like it's clear he knew the whole time and the parents did. It's like only was a hidden to the audience and not even really that hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have made it a whole reveal, but it's probably better that they didn't.
Yeah. No, it would take more time to be like, what? You're not my parents? Like, no, let's cut that out. He knows he's adopted. It's fine.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. Mom's like, it's probably nothing to worry about. And dad's like, maybe we should call the doctor. And the mom's like, no doctor can lay a hand on my baby.
Again, why is the mom so...
She's just weird.
So, yeah, she is very much anti-vax, anti-capitalism.
Anti-doctors. She's like, I want natural medicine. I want beet cake.
Why? What is the plot purpose of that? It's not her movie. It's not really humorous.
I don't know. They just made the mom quirky. It's fine. It's the same woman who saw baby and said, can we keep it?
That's true.
All right, cut to the pier. Cody and Sam are riding on razor scooters.
Yeah, it's really funny to me. Just this is like their cute little date, and they're just razor scootering there.
Yeah, and then they're like eating some food at a table, and she's like, "Wow, so your mom gave you acupuncture?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You feeling better?" And he's like, "I guess so." And she's like, "Good, because I don't want you to be contagious." And she holds his hand. And when she does, her hair sticks up, like static electricity makes your hair stick up, you know? Mm-hmm. And he starts laughing at her. And she's like, what? And he's like, nothing. And then they take hands again and it happens again. And he just laughs at her. It's so rude.
You could say static electricity is making your hair stand up.
Cut to Cody at home reading more of the book that Jess got him and drinking just more water. Oh my God, the water bottle stuck to his hand. Oh my God, now his hand is stuck to the wall. And then he calls for his parents and they come in and he ended up stuck on the ceiling. And the mom's like, I think it's time to call the doctor. Spider-Man.
Yeah, once your kid's standing on the ceiling, there's not much else you can do.
Yeah. So the doctor's there and he goes, So, your adoptive parents? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, I would like to talk to Cody alone, please. So the parents leave. And then he's like, Cody, I have a diagnosis for you. And then it cuts to Cody telling Jess, he's like, puberty. He says it's just puberty. This doctor sucks, by the way.
Yeah. This doctor does bad at his job. I guess the doctor didn't know about the rashes. But
I feel like they would have told him about the rashes. Like earlier he said like, no, I'm thirsty. I shock people. I get a rash sometimes.
Yeah. And I guess they should believe him when he's standing on the ceiling. Everything he said should be believed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Cody's like, most people just get like sweaty and their voice gets deeper, but I get like electricity and scales on my skin. By the way, Jess is in the pool with floaties, learning how to swim. And then Jess is like, I mean, you want to talk about it? I haven't gone through puberty yet, but I'm still a pretty brilliant guy. And Cody's like, I'm no doctor.
Just fucking talking himself up.
I know. Cody's like, I'm no doctor, but does this look like puberty to you? And he shows his scales.
Yeah.
He's like, I just don't believe it. Like, it's not
and he
puberty.
keeps talking about, like, only sometimes these show up.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like mostly when he's wet.
No, it's only when he's wet.
Yeah.
That they show. Not always when he's wet.
I know, not always when he's wet, but like sometimes when he's wet.
And they do it just like so they can be like, okay, we can get away with him doing something and being wet and then not showing, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. So then it like cuts and they're at the pier now, but they carry on their conversation. And Cody's hands turn scaly when he gets them wet. Yeah, he mentions it. And he's like, and the electricity thing, like, it's so weird. Jess, you gotta help me. You know about fish?
Yeah, you love fish.
And he's like, well, maybe I can run some tests? And he's like, yeah, do that. And, oh, we see that Jess's dad was listening to them. Whoa. So they start doing research. And we get a little montage of Jess, like, taking samples and stuff. He takes samples of the scales. Jess, so Cody has like a tank with some goldfish in it, and Jess is like, talk to the goldfish. And Cody points at the goldfish and says, jump, and then it flies out of the tank. So apparently Cody can just talk to fish. And they
this comes back never.
Hey, jump.
And the fish says, how high?
Yeah, this literally never comes up again, and it's in the description that you can talk to fish. This
movie is half-baked, but I kind of like what it cooked up.
Yeah. And then Cody like holds a light bulb and it lights up in his hand, which is pretty cool. And he starts
the electricity
it around.
part is one that they also feel like they forget about all the time.
I mean,
it's constant, it's there.
Yeah, it's there.
But it's also like weird. And mermaid media, this is the only one I've seen that involves electricity.
Yeah. No, it's unique. It's weird. I don't know why they felt the need to throw that in there.
This feels like it's adapting like a book or something, but it's not.
It's original.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Also, they like time his swimming and he's swimming fast. And then we cut to them talking and Cody's like, come on, you've done these tests for a week. You gotta have an answer by now. And Jess is like, just stay away from the water. It gets worse when you're wet. And Cody says, I can't.
I got the state swimming finals. Oh.
It just feels right when I'm in the water. Plus the swim team is counting on me. So he's like, I'm still gonna swim. So we see Jess looking at some creepy picture in his dad's collection shed. And his dad comes in. He's like, so you into mermaids now? And and then he shows Jess a picture of a mermaid. He's like, this was taken by some doctor in 1981.
Some Swedish doctor.
Yeah, 1981. He was convinced he'd seen a mermaid, but nobody believed him. But he still believes in mermaids to this day.
And Jess is like, do you believe in him? And the dad's like, no, that dude's crazy.
That dude's crazy. He's a wacko. That's clearly a picture of a scuba diver. She's like, then why do you keep the picture? And he's like, I don't know. It reminds me that there's someone out there crazier than me. Jess is like, you're not crazy, Dad.
Okay, but even if the mermaid exists, the dad still is crazy.
Yeah. But it's funny. He's like, that guy was stupid. But I've seen a mermaid.
But me? Nah.
Dad's like, thanks, Jess. Feel free to look at all the stuff you want. And then Jess asks about the article, and he's like, oh, hey, so in this it says that, like, young mer people can walk amongst humans, and then their powers manifest in their 13th year of life. And the dad's like, yeah, that's one theory. In the 13th year, the fish half takes over the human half. Jess is like, how long has it been since you saw your mermaid? And he says, 13 years.
Oh, 13 years. How about that?
Dad, I want to hear all about mermaids. So, okay. A theory of why Cody is able to have legs is that, like, he was brought out of the water.
Yeah.
So then he had legs. But if he had stayed in the water with his birth mom, he would have had a tail his whole life, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe all mermaids have, like, a brief period of being human.
That's so weird.
But maybe not, because the mermaid we see in the film can't talk. So maybe not.
And she didn't want to give up her baby.
No, so I assume it's that. She accidentally gave up her baby. But why was she even swimming near civilization?
I don't know.
Yeah. I can't prescribe, like, a hierarchy of needs to this mermaid, so maybe I'm speaking too much.
All right, so now we have Jess and Cody like in a little lab, and Jess with a microscope shows Cody like, this is your scale, and this is what's on
your elbow.
Yeah.
And this is a fish scale. And they look under the microscope, and they look exactly the same.
Yeah, so Cody's like, so I'm a fish? Well, not far off. After some tests, I think you're a mermaid. Or a merman, I guess.
I would like to point out, this is the time to do it, through the whole movie, there's now becomes a running joke of someone saying, like, you're a mermaid, and everyone's like, no, merman.
Merman.
Yeah, because him turning into a merman is conceivable and acceptable, but him changing genders, absolutely not.
That would be ludicrous.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I don't remember Ariel being able to shock people.
He pulls his fingers up and does a little zappy zap. He can control his powers.
Yeah, well, he knows if he holds his fingers close together, it goes bzzz.
I feel like he should be using these powers for evil.
What?
Let's say
Why?
Let my intrusive thoughts win.
Okay. Okay, here's our explanation. Jess says, no, but eels can shock people, I guess.
So maybe you're an eel.
You're like, mermaids also have electricity powers because eels have electricity powers. Come on, guys, is clearly the solution.
I would like to point out there is essentially no part of the plot of this movie where him having electric powers changes anything.
No,
the only thing I think
pointless.
is the one kiss that they had that had like a shock between them.
Yeah, and it's just like another thing that's happening that he can't explain.
They could have easily dropped this, and I'm shocked they didn't.
I don't know. I think they just wanted another thing. Like, how do we convey that he's turning into a mermaid? Okay, let's make him thirsty, I guess.
First step, dude's thirsty as hell.
He's thirsty as hell, and he's sticky because fish are sticky.
Fish aren't sticky.
And then you give him shocky powers.
Also, he's gonna get scales.
Okay, that's like, the only one that makes sense.
But not like consistent scales.
When he's wet scales.
Is when he's wet, his hands will look a little clammy.
God, yeah, this movie could be better. It should have just been every time he touches water, he grows a full tail, just like H2O.
This could have been a lot simpler and made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
What they have here is, again, it's half-baked.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a weird choice.
So Cody says, all right, say I am a merman. People don't just become mermen. I was normal a month ago. And Jess is like, yeah, you got a point there. And Cody's like, did I ever tell you I was adopted? And Jess says, no, it's a weird time to bring it up. And Cody's like, I think maybe that's the key to this whole thing.
Maybe it's my birth parents.
Yeah, I mean, what else would explain it? Like, him being adopted is at least something, you know? All right. Cut to Cody telling his parents, like, I need to find my birth parents. All these weird things are happening. I'm swimming so fast. That's another symptom. He swims so fast. And these dreams I'm having. Oh, the doctor was wrong about the puberty thing. Look at my scaly hands. Woo. And his arms are just all scaled up.
Yeah, this is where I was talking about, like, hey, mom, dad, it doesn't happen every time. It would be really funny if it just didn't happen.
If it wasn't that he had a normal arm and he's like, fuck. Hold on, let me go hop in the shower.
That's like, let me try and get dries it all off. Does it again. So
they look at his scaled arm. He's like, I think I'm a merman. And maybe my birth parents are mer people.
This is the plot jumped. The plot is like wild.
The movie just keeps chugging along. It doesn't really feel like there's acts.
No.
To the movie, it's just one continuous line, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Hard cut to Cody saying, so you were in the middle of the ocean and somebody just put me in your boat? This was a hard cut from him talking to his parents to him talking to his parents.
You know what it probably was? It was probably a commercial break.
Because
we don't get to see when the commercial breaks were anymore because we're not watching the TV cut.
Yeah.
But it's built for a TV movie.
That's a really good point. So he says, you were in the middle of the ocean and somebody just put me in your boat? And
like,
they're
that
like,
seems
yeah.
like a reasonable line to start
yeah.
commercial from.
And they're like, yeah, it was so strange. There was no reported missing child, so at least they checked. And no one came for you, so you're just like our son now. And they never had any more kids, which I found interesting. Like, they just got a baby without any work at all.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to go through the adoption process. I guess the government was like, well, nobody's looking for this baby. You can just have it.
They had a kid, didn't even have to have sex.
Would the police look into that more? Or would they just be like, I guess you guys can have
this kid exists. I don't know.
He's like, so someone or something dumped me on your boat and now I'm turning into a fish? That's like point A to point B. Someone put me on your boat and now I'm a fish.
Just wrapping up the plot for anyone who's just joining in late.
Synopsis. Cody is a baby that was put on a boat and 13 years later he turns into a fish.
That's the movie.
That's the movie.
That's the Kelsey Plus description.
The mom says, no, you're not. You're not a merman. We're going to figure this out. But Cody's like freaking out. And Dad's like, let's just keep you out of the water. And
but what about the finals of swimming?
What about state finals? And they're like, too bad. And Cody's forced to promise to stay out of the water. They're like, promise us.
But it feels so good. But I like the water so much.
But my team's counting on me. Even though Sean is better. But, yeah. But he swims fast now. So then it cuts to Cody in his bedroom. He's looking at his tank of goldfish and he says, I'm one of you now.
And he puts some fish food for them and he looks at it and he
goes,
I'm gonna eat it. And he's like, oh, this is fucking gross. Why did I do that?
I thought he was gonna like it.
Yeah, it's a good subversion.
I'm one of you now. Eats fish food. That was also good. That was a good bit. All right, that night, Cody has the same mermaid dream. And when I say the same dream, it's literally
the same dream.
It's literally the same cut. And this won't be the last time you see it. He has his mermaid dream. Yeah, it is a vision. He sees his mother, his mermaid mother, more clearly this time. Like, it goes a little bit longer than it did last time. But then it's the next morning. So the next morning, the parents talk about calling a specialist or something. But the mom's like, no, I don't want Cody shipped off to some research facility. And the parents freaking out. And Cody's like listening from the other room. So this doesn't really come back later either. It's just one little scene of them freaking out.
Yeah.
This movie needed to be better. I don't know.
Again, you hear us throughout this entire podcast either like saying, that was really good, or this is all stupid. This is, again, it somehow equates into the most mid movie.
Yeah, like there's high highs and low lows.
But honestly, the high highs we are overrating, and the low lows we are like
too harsh on.
Yeah. But at the same time, when you're discussing it, it just sounds like there's a lot more to discuss.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like the
movie's just weird.
This movie just has so much potential.
This movie's a little freak.
It has potential, and I wish it was freakier. Okay, so we see Cody sitting on the beach. He sees the buoy out, and he's like, this is a bad idea, but then he runs out into the ocean anyway, and he swims. And we see Mermaid Mom swimming nearby, and she spots him. And Cody goes, who's there? But she hides. She doesn't want to show herself right now.
Why not?
I don't know. Why doesn't she just say, come with me, we'll be together?
Like, there's no plot reason I can think of.
Like, he wouldn't want to go right away. He'd want to be like, I want to say goodbye to my parents. But why wouldn't she? I mean, she doesn't talk. So I guess there's that. Okay. Oh, by the way, Cody, he's in the water now, and he's like, no scales. Huh. Maybe I'm getting better. And then he does some spins in the water. He's like doing some flips. He jumps out of the water. He gets super high. And the mermaid mom is watching in the light. And Cody goes, yeah, wahoo.
This just having fun.
He's having a good time.
The energy of this movie is not, it never chooses a genre. It wants to be a melodrama. It wants to be a comedy. It wants to be a sports movie.
It wants to be
and
romance.
It's none of them. Yeah. It's genreless.
Yeah. So then he swims back to shore and he gets the freaky scales on his arm. And then Sam walks up, so he has to hide it.
Oh no, he sticks his hands in the sand.
And she's like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just sitting and looking. She's like, well, can I join you? Sitting and looking? And he's like, okay. And so they sit awkwardly. And Sam's like, do you want to go for a swim? And Cody's like, no. And she's like, what is up with you? And he says, I can't tell you. Well, you're supposed to be able to tell me anything.
Girl, you've been dating for like 2 months.
I know, so the way she says it is so serious, by the way. She's like, you're supposed to be able to tell me anything because we're dating. I'm your girlfriend. And he's like, sorry, I just want to be alone right now. And so she leaves.
So she leaves him.
And then
he takes his hands and is like, I want to tell you I'm turning into a little mermaid freak.
I want to tell you I'm just a little freaking mermaid man.
Oh, sorry, Sam. Sorry. I'm just turning into a mermaid.
Oh, it's a freaky little boy.
I don't think he uses the word freak. I think that's us.
I think I wrote that. All right, so then Cody's talking with Jess. He says, I don't get why sometimes I change and sometimes I don't.
You know what? Me neither.
And
I feel like that's real plot convenience.
Jess is like, well, let's not do my swim lesson. And Cody's like, come on, Jess, just jump into the water. And Cody's like, you know what? I'm going to go talk to Coach. How about you get some guts while I'm gone and jump in the pool? And then Sean walks up and he's like, oh my God, you teaching the nerd to swim? And Cody's like, what do you have against Jess? And Sean's like, what do you have against Jess? I have the same thing against him that you did a week ago. He's not one of us. We're cool. And Cody's like, well, too bad. He's my friend. And if you got a problem, you can deal with it.
Oh, bam, 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 bam.
And Sean's like, I'll see you tomorrow at the race. And Cody's like, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, like, that's our swim team. That's of course I'm going to be
there. Yeah, we're on the same swim team. We're like kind of competing, but also we're on the same team.
We're kind of friends, but we're also kind of enemies.
We're kind of like frenemies.
Someone should make like an anthology movie about that.
Jess is like, Cody, what? You can't go to the swim meet. You can't swim. And Cody says, I have to. I can't let this thing run my life. I have to do this. It's my only way of fighting back. And Jess says, what if somebody sees you? And Cody says, I'll swim too fast for them to see me. And then he walks away and just jumps into the pool, which is a transition to the swim meet. Pretty cool.
You're easily pleased.
I'm just trying to get through this.
We only got, 4 pages of notes left?
Yeah, we're getting there. All right. So we see Coach giving a speech to the team. It's state finals. He's like, this is the Super Bowl of swimming.
The state of blank finals. What I'm going to guess, Delaware.
Delaware?
Yeah. It seems like a small state, but I don't know if that's enough. And they have a good bit of coastline in Delaware.
Okay. I've never been to Delaware. He says... What?
Just the amount of silence we had after I've never been to Delaware. I haven't either.
We didn't say that.
I don't know how many... If you're from Delaware...
I decided to just move on.
Okay. You know what? Let's get through this. It's past 10 o'clock.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not. Like, I just believed you. We're not getting crazy yet. We still have 23 minutes before we get crazy at 10 o'clock. All right. The coach once again says, this is the happiest day of my entire coaching life.
He loves this. He loves coaching.
Let's win some races. Coach asks Sam where Cody is, and she's like, sorry. He doesn't tell me much of anything these days. At home, Cody reads his mermaid book, and then his parents...
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
It's a mermaid book.
It's not... I didn't verify there are sea monsters in it.
Yeah!
But I don't think it's a mermaid book.
Well, he's reading it, isn't he? and he's a mermaid.
Yeah.
So fight me there. I don't know what I'm talking about. His parents check in on him.
You're running on fumes right now.
Really
you didn't get to take a nap today.
His parents check in on him just like they did 10 minutes ago. And they're like, we know it sucks that you're missing the meat. And Cody's like, it's all right. I just want to be alone. And
they say, okay. And they close the door, and he immediately just jumps out the window.
He just leaves, yeah.
Man.
So Cody shows up to the meet. And Jess sees him, and he's like, why are you here? Be smart. It's just a dumb sport. You just swim fast and touch the wall. You smell like chlorine, and there's no cheerleaders. At least the other dumb sports have cheerleaders.
I like how Jess is pro cheerleader. I don't know why that's funny to me.
Of course
he's like, I hate sports, but cheerleaders, they're cool.
I love women.
Oh. This is gonna end up these podcasts into like not enough people listen to these to make how many inside jokes we have on previous episodes.
Talking about being up past 10 p.m. Boy, oy, oy, oy. These are all exclusive inside jokes, guys. You gotta listen to every episode to understand these. Okay, so he's like, why are you willing to screw up your whole life for this team? And Cody's like, all right, I'll stop swimming tomorrow. Wink, and he leaves. So, just to not convince him. And then he lines up for the competition. And Sam sees him and smiles and waves. I guess it's all forgiven now. She's just like, oh my god, Cody's here.
she all she cares about is winning state. Actually, she doesn't care about Cody.
Of course she cares about Cody.
She does care about Cody.
All right, Cody smack talks Sean, who's also racing. And the race starts, but it's not a gun this time to start the race. It's an air horn. Why'd they change it?
Because they realized you shouldn't fire a gun in a building.
That's what I thought too. All right, so they're racing. The race is tight. Both boys are really fast.
But Cody is doing a little bit better.
Yeah, and also we see during the race that his parents see that Cody's gone, so they run out of the house. Back to the race. Cody's picking up speed, take the lead. Jess sees his dad is in the crowd with binoculars.
He's like, I ain't gonna find a mermaid in this pool.
And then like right at the end of the race, the time slows down to be dramatic, and Cody wins. It's a new state record.
Wow! And he puts his arms out in the air.
He's
Yay!
cheering.
Let's go! Oh no! On his elbows are fins.
They're like scaly like fins.
He's definitely cheating.
Yeah, so then Jess steps in front of his dad's binoculars like, Dad, what are you doing here? Don't look in those binoculars.
And Cody realizes his fins are showing, so he zaps the electronic timer.
He grabs the bar and it fries the whole scoreboard. Yeah.
So everyone's going crazy and he jumps out of the pool and sprints to the locker room.
Yeah. And Sean chases Cody into the showers. And he's like, whoa. Your arms were weird. Hey, well, Cody.
He knows something's going on. I don't even think he necessarily saw the arms.
I think he did see the arms in the pool, and that's when Cody like ran out. Because Sean was just kind of looking at him like, what? And then Sean calls out for Cody, and he's like, hey, I know you did something to make you swim so fast. That gold should be mine. When I found out what you're hiding, you're done for. And then he leaves the locker room, and you pan up and see that Cody was stuck on the ceiling like Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Because he can do that. Because fish are sticky.
Fish are sticky. I feel like, as is, Cody's just a superhero, and we're discounting that.
He can swim really fast.
He is just like a discount Aquaman discount. I was just
about to say that. Like, what does Aquaman do other than swim fast and be sticky and maybe shocky powers? He's like Spider-Man meets like Electro. Is that his hero? Probably not.
They're asking the wrong person. Ask our other co-host.
Key? Our cat? She's here. Kiki. Is there like a shocky hero? Oh, Bingo's here. Big O heard us talking to the cat, was like, what's up? You yelling at her?
She just comes running at the hearing of you just mentioning the cat's name.
So Cody's parents roll up and Cody runs to the van and they're like, is there something you want to tell us? And he's like, I won my race.
Woo!
And the parents are mad and they drive away. And Jess's dad drives by in his car.
Stares them down.
Yeah. All right. At home, they try and dry Cody, but his scales just won't go away.
Uh-oh, they're permanent now.
Jess runs in and he's like, I saw everything.
Yeah, Cody's like, don't worry, no one saw. And Jess runs in and said, I saw everything. He said, okay, maybe someone saw.
Maybe someone saw. Everyone's talking about what happened.
And they're just like, okay, but obviously Jess is the only one that saw.
Yeah, and then Sam walks in and she sees the arms.
Yeah.
And she faints. And then Sam comes to, and they're all like hovering over her, like, Sam, you all right? And she's like, was I dreaming? And he's like, nope, here's my scaly arm. And Jess is like, yeah, he's a merman. Please don't tell anyone. It's a secret. And Sam's like, you people are crazy. You actually think Cody is a mermaid? Merman.
Everyone was like, merman. He's not a girl.
Yeah, merman. That's a trailer shot. That was in the commercials. Watch 13th Year this Friday.
Just saying, this movie may have been more hype if he was also changing gender. I feel like the whole movie, instead of being a puberty metaphor, being a trans metaphor,
and he gets
way more interesting.
He gets a seashell bra.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. His hair grows really long to cover his boobs because that's also a mermaid thing.
See, it's pretty good.
I mean,
fish change gender.
I mean,
fish do change gender?
Do you need a penis when you have a tail?
We started with vaginas, we ended with penises.
Your penis is covered by your tail. Just saying. I don't know how mermen work. I don't know how mermaids work. Okay. So Cody's like, why would I make this up? And Sam tries to leave. And Cody's like, it's not as bad as it seems. And Sam says, not as bad? You're a fish. Okay. So it's worse. But I need you. And Sam's like, I'm sorry. It's just too much. And she leaves. And Cody turns and says, well, that went well. Cody's like, you should be taking this way more seriously. After he looked at Sam and said, I need you.
I need you.
And she leaves like, well, that went well.
And then you just hear like the Seinfeld soundtrack.
Yeah, the genre is just, again, all over the place.
It does not commit.
All right, at school on a new day, Sam is talking with Sean and Cody comes up and he's like, Sam, I've been trying to get a hold of you. And Sam's like, I know, I'm just busy. And Sean's like, why haven't you been at swim practice? I guess when you're so fast, you don't need practice. So how'd you do it? Steroids? Pills? Cody's like, I thought we were friends. This is the first I've heard of them being friends.
I mean, they've acted like friends. They've kind
of acted like friends. They've also kind of not acted like friends.
Such as this scene where they're going to start fighting.
Yeah, Cody's like, I thought we were friends. And Sean's like, you're just that tired of coming in second? I guess cheating's the only way to beat me, loser. And they push each other and they start fighting. They push them. And Jess comes to break it up. And Jess is like, hey, if anyone's going to get beaten up, it's me. What else am I supposed to do between periods? Just sit around and not get beat up? This is, again, just Jess being like, I'm a nerd who gets beaten up. It's just annoying.
I feel like he wants it.
He does want it. He doesn't know what else to do with himself. And Sean is like, oh, is Jess fighting your battles now? So Cody and Sean start fighting more. And then a random teacher who we've never seen before comes in to break it up. He's like, break it up. And they walk away, and that's the end of the scene. Like, who is that teacher? Why wouldn't they bring the swim coach in or something? Like, someone we know. Mm-hmm. Instead of hiring a different teacher.
I don't know.
Whatever.
There were two teachers in this, the coach and the teacher. The
biology teacher, yeah.
They easily could have used either of them, but instead I guess it's probably extremely cheap. And that could be a principal. So, sure, why not? It probably cost the budget $500 more.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right. At the beach, Cody complains to Jess. And Jess is like, it could be worse. You could be a half slug instead of a fish.
That would be worse.
So the reason I'm like, this movie isn't that good is because most of it is just Cody being like, this is crazy what's happening to me. And they're like, yeah, it is.
And sometimes that's magic, and most of the time it's not.
Yeah. Cody's like, everyone's ditched me. Why haven't you ditched me yet? And Jess is like, I don't know. And Cody's like, it's because you're a good person. And Jess is like, oh, shucks, Cody, I love you too. And then he like hugs him and it's cute. Merman attack. What did I write
they're like wrestling on the beach and Cody goes like, merman attack.
Sometimes I don't remember why I write things.
We watched this movie yesterday.
Yeah. All right, transition to fish boat at night, and there's a lighthouse, and the buoy bell rings, and Cody looks out to the water from the beach, and he goes to swim in the water again towards the buoy. Wow, this is just like his dream, because it's shot for shot the dream he had before, but this time it's happening for real life. It's unclear in the beginning if this is a dream again, but it is for real life. So we see Mermaid Mom again, just clear as day this time, and he doesn't wake up. This isn't a dream. She gestures like, come here, come here. So he swims towards her, and she holds up her magic rainbow hands. There's rainbow magic coming out of her hands. This is a thing mermaids can do.
Everyone knows the famous mermaid rainbow hands.
It's kind of like the electricity powers, but it's not at all. It's actually rainbows.
Gay.
So they're about to touch hands, but then the boat is above them, so they swim up to the surface. And it's, oh my god, it's John. It's Jess's dad, John.
Big John.
Big John Wheatley. And he spots her, and then she swims away, and he sees Cody in the water. He sees his face, and he's like, well, who would have thought that? And then Cody, runs back to shore. I guess he swims back.
He swims back and then he gets on shore and he runs.
All right.
So dude's not doing a good job staying out of the water.
I know. It's because it feels good.
It feels so right.
So then we see Sam's phone ringing in her bedroom, but she doesn't answer. And it's Cody, and he's leaving a message on the answering machine. He's like, please, Sam, I need you. And Sam thinks about answering but doesn't. And he's like, meet me at the cove tomorrow. It's important. And then he stares out his window to the buoy again. All right, cut to John on his boat. He's like, I got a big net. I'm going to catch the mermaid.
I'm going to catch a mermaid.
And Jess is like, what? And
that's not good.
John's like, I'm going to get proof this time. And Jess runs off and bikes to Cody's house. But Cody's not there.
Oh, no.
He's at the cove. So then at the cove, Sam shows up. And Cody tells her that, this isn't anything he expected. And Sam's like, why didn't you just tell me? And he's like, we're in junior high. People talk. And she's like, well, I'm not people.
Yeah, I mean, you literally are.
Yes, I'm weirded out, but who wouldn't be weirded out? And
Sam, what genre do you think you're in? This is a movie about someone turning into a mermaid. It doesn't have to be this serious.
And then they apologize. Like, I'm sorry. Then she kisses him again.
Is this sort of like the third kiss?
No, it's the second kiss. Okay. Because remember, they didn't kiss the second time. They just shot kiss and then laughed. But she kissed him this time. So 2 kisses in one movie, 1 DCOM. That's crazy. And then Cody's like, I want to show you something. So they go out to the water. He says, take my hand. And then he looks out to the buoy and he says, she's here. I can feel her. And then a mermaid pops out of the water and he's like, yeah, that's my mom. My other mom. She's here to help me. And Sam's like, this is unbelievable.
Wouldn't it be funny if this was just an unrelated mermaid?
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
And I would love that plot twist where this is like an evil mermaid.
And he's like, that's definitely my mom. And they don't talk, so they're like, this is easy as shit. He just thinks I'm the mom. Nope. Yeah, no. So Sam's like, it's unbelievable. And then all of a sudden Cody's in an immense pain.
Oh.
And Sam's like, what do I do? And Cody's like, go get my mom and dad. So Sam runs off. And then Cody's feet
turn into fins.
They turn into like flipper fins. That's pretty nasty.
Yeah. If not good for the foot fans.
Yeah. And then Jess shows up on the beach and Cody isn't there anymore.
What? And my God.
Yeah.
Is it because John kidnapped Cody?
It's because John kidnapped Cody.
No.
Yeah, on his boat.
Well, he has a mermaid now.
Well, he's not fully a mermaid yet. But mermaid mom follows the boat. Cody's like, I need to be in the water. And John's like, don't worry. It'll be fine. And then he takes a bucket of water, like throws it out. Like, if you keep it wet, it'll be a lot like a beach whale or something. Yeah. Just throw some water on it. It'll be all right. And then he spots the mermaid in the water. And Jess shows up because I guess the boat was docked.
Yeah.
Okay.
That seems a little silly, but whatever.
And Jess pulls away the covering on top of Cody and he sees the very flippery feet. And Cody's like, put me in the water, Jess.
Yeah, I feel like Jess could have just dragged him into the water, but I guess maybe he's not strong enough.
Yeah, I don't know. And then they see the big net that John has and the mermaid swimming towards the boat. She doesn't see the net. And
she's kind of a dummy.
She's dummy. But she's
for how good she was at dodging this guy 13 years prior.
He didn't have a net then. And she's trying to get to Cody. And Cody says, no, it's a trap.
But his mom gets caught in it.
She gets caught, and Cody's like, we have to help her, Jess. And so the mermaid's struggling in the net, and Jess grabs a knife and jumps into the water, and he's like, I'm doing it, I'm swimming. And then he dives down, and he cuts the net, and John starts raising it, but, you know, Jess cut it, so the mermaid's free. And then Jess pops back up, and he's like, yay, did it. Oh, but then the net falls, it like gets unraveled and Jess's foot gets caught on it and he's being pulled under the water, which is terrifying. It's just like in Ring of Endless Light when his foot's like being dragged on the net. It's like, this kid's gonna drown. That's terrifying. So John jumps into the water because his son is drowning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But instead of diving down and trying to help him, he's just on the surface of the water, flailing his arms around, going, Jess, no! Jess, where are you? Like, so unhelpful.
Yeah.
So unhelpful.
He's panicking. Maybe he also doesn't know how to swim.
Maybe. Luckily, Cody dives down and saves him.
Yeah, maybe you should have got the mermaid to help you.
Yeah. So Cody saved Jess, and they bring him to shore, and everyone is all of a sudden there now. Cody's mom and Sam give Jess CPR.
But it's not working.
Oh my God. So Cody's like, wait, let me try something. So he takes his shocky fingers and he like
defibrillates.
Yeah. Clear. All right, try again.
And that works.
That works. So it does a trick. And John's like, I thought I lost you, son.
Like, just like, wow, you were right about the mermaid. Also, I was kissing Sam. Nice.
Oh my God. And John's like, it doesn't matter about the mermaid anymore. I'm just happy you're all right. So character growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then everyone sees the mermaid out in the water, and Cody says, yeah, that's my mom. My other mom. Like, he says the same exact thing that he said before. That's my mom. My other mom. And Dad says she's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Is the dad attracted to mermaid mom?
I mean, why not?
Wow, she's
kind of hot.
She is hot. And John's like, she's just as I remember 13 years ago. And Cody's like, she wants me to go with her. She's the only one who can help with my changes. And Cody's mom says, no, you're my son. And Cody says, yes, but I'm more than that. Look at me. Shows scales.
I'm a merman.
And then the mermaid mom looks at Cody's mom and they make eye contact.
They just stare at each other for like 10 seconds.
And the mom's like, I understand. You have to go with her, Cody. She loves you, but it won't be forever. She promises to have you back before school starts.
What?
Somehow They had a whole conversation just staring at each other from like 20 feet away.
And we can't believe that there is telecommunication. That doesn't make sense.
No. Does she have the confidence of mermaids?
She may secretly have the confidence of mermaids. We know this director likes it.
True. All right, Cody says, I love you, Mom, and then they hug. And the dad's just there. He doesn't say, yeah, which I thought was an odd choice. But then Sam says, I'll miss you, Cody. Promise not to fall for any girls.
I feel like that's a dumb thing to do. You guys have been dating for like 2 months.
You don't know how long they've been dating.
Okay, that's true. But also, presumably there's going to be a time where he stops being human.
Apparently he can just come back.
It's so unclear.
It's so
Were they
weird.
trying to make a sequel?
They're kind of like setting up that a sequel could happen, but they
and
never did.
And if there were, why didn't they? This movie was successful at the time. It was the second most watched film.
It would have been so easy to make a sequel of this.
Yeah.
But they don't. Jess says, remember everything. I want to know all the details when you come back. And then the dad finally says, okay, I love you. Won't be long. And Cody says, I'll be back in no time. And then he takes off his shirt and he jumps in the water.
Yeah, I guess you have no need for your shirt if you're going to be swimming for months.
Yeah, if you're a merman, you don't need a shirt. So then Cody swims with his mermaid mom and they touch their magic rainbow hands.
Oh, they finally got to do that.
And then they hug. And then Cody jumps out of the water.
Yeah,
and he has a full mermaid tail now.
Oh my god.
Let's freaking go.
He really is a mermaid.
Everybody watches and Jess is like, I finally get a friend, and he turns into a fish. Typical.
Laugh track. There we go.
And then Cody waves goodbye to his parents, and the mer people swim off together. The end. Imagine this beautiful, serene shot of the ocean and the mermaids swimming, right? Yep. Very beautiful. Yep. Very aesthetic.
And this is the end of the movie, and it's like a 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 movie, but maybe something in the credits can bump that score up.
And then all of a sudden, yeah, you hear a the devil really likes me. Never that love would tempt my heart. Like, it's so jarring.
So there's a trend in DCOMs, especially old DCOMs, but also just in children's movies in general, where they'll do a song that like runs through the plot of the movie.
Yeah. Come on, Brink. Yeah. That was one.
Don't know really why that's a trend, but there is. This is by far the best one.
This is so funny.
Because it is genuinely like one of the worst songs I've ever heard, and I love it so much.
Yeah. And I looked this up on YouTube, and all of the comments are like, this is horrible, I love it. Like everybody agreed it's fantastic. We
need to just share the word about how this song is. It's insane.
It's so funny. Like, why is he singing like that? Why is the music like demonic? It's like a fever dream. And he's talking about how his hands are clammy and sitting at a sushi bar is his greatest fear. Because he's turning into a fish. Yeah. Like, it's hilarious.
It's really funny.
And the movie's like less than a minute long. It's the best credits. Good. It's the best credits at any DCOM.
It really leaves you with a smile.
Yeah, it's so funny. And there are some other silly little songs. Come On Brink was one. There's In Full Court Miracle, there's a good one that I can't wait to talk about. But yeah. That's 13th Year.
That's 13th Year. It's so weird.
It's so weird in my 13th year. Yeah. So this movie's really up and down. It has some silly stuff.
It's one that we're going to forget most of what we just talked about.
Yeah.
When we're done with this podcast.
We remember, you're beautiful. And what? I'm thirsty. I've been thirsty lately.
But like, yeah. The whole movie has just a weird tone, a weird vibe. And it never really lands.
Yeah. Like, I just wish it was done a little differently. Because the concept's good. Mm-hmm. A boy turns into a merman. That's fun. And people remember this one as like, oh my god, the one where he turns into a mermaid.
The one where it's a boy mermaid.
Yeah. Too. Yeah,
because mermaids are so always girls.
That's true.
We really haven't talked about that. That is pretty cool that they did a boy mermaid movie.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that. It's different, especially for the 90s. Yeah. I mean, it's the end of the 90s, but like, you know, break the stereotype. It's a boy mermaid.
Mermaids can be boys too.
Yeah, mermaids can be boys too, guys.
All right. How did we have this ranked before?
That's a good question. So final Jank House ranking of this movie was 46, which isn't bad. It's right around the middle. BenG, you have it at 43, and I have it a little lower at 58.
I think we might tend more towards yours, but at the same time, there's some stuff to this movie. There is some stuff. Maybe I'm a little harsh on it. I have it in C tier, which I think I agree with. I have it right above BenG. I think I would at least switch those. I think I like BenG better on this rewatch. I had it like mid B tier, and I might move it down from that. But like, yeah, I think everything's gonna change a little bit on this. In my opinion, like my B tier is like movies where I'm like positive the whole time on it, or at least close to the whole time. And I don't think 13th Year is that for me. I think 13th Year is very comfortably like high C tier for me. You know, it's not going to be one that I'm actually going to want to watch that much. But there is some fun little silly stuff that I enjoy of this movie. It's not bad. Mm-hmm. As much as I'm like complaining about it, it's really not bad. There is so much worse DCOMs out there. Like, I promise. Yeah. Well, that concludes our episode on 13th Year. If you have any comments you want to tell us, let us know. dcomduo@gmail.com or comment anywhere else. I don't know. Yeah. Follow our TikToks if TikTok still exists. Mm-hmm. We should probably figure out what we're doing next. Yeah, so we have to spin our wheel of our remaining DCOMs, and we also bet on what we think it's going to be next. Oh my god, I gotta get my bet ready. I'm gonna pick Buffalo Dreams because I always forget that this movie exists. So Buffalo Dreams. I'll do True Confessions, something I forget exists sometimes. Nice. All right. Oh man. Yeah. That was such a stupid reaction. It's the Cheetah Girls. Oh fuck yeah! Hell yeah! I love Cheetah Girls. That's great. Finally, Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Sisters. We stand together. That's great. All right, tune in 2 weeks to hear us talk about Cheetah Girls. Fuck yeah. Goodbye. Goodbye. Scenes from our next episode. Dog in a hole. That's bad. 'Cause we are sisters. We stand together. We each dress in the same way even though it was uncoordinated. I don't want to be like Cinderella standing in the school dusty sailor. All around the world. We go all around the world. Oh my god. Is that BenG? Wait, who's the Cheetah Girls? Alley Cat Strike. Oh shoot! Is that the guy from Alley Cat Strike who isn't BenG? Oh my god. Shit, what was I gonna say? Raven Simone's in this one? Raven Simone! Oh, fuck, I had something, but I lost it. Wait, I know what it's like not to have a mom. It felt like I didn't matter. But I know what it means not to have a mom. What? Who doesn't have a mom? I'll tell you later. I always carry hot sauce in my purse. Oh my god, did you take a Subway? For me? No, for the dog. Idiot. Sing faster so the dog moves more. This movie's great. But is it?